Call the regular monthly meeting of the Johnson County Fiscal Court to order at this time. Our first item on the agenda is pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item is the approval of the minutes of the February 12th meeting. You have those minutes before you. Is there any suggested changes, corrections, or amendments to the minutes as presented?
Move to approve as presented.
Motion by Commissioner Daniel to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Adams. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Next item is the monthly bills. I think you had those bills in a packet in your file, and you had some extra ones, I think, in
We already looked at them.
the folder that you've been through. Is there any questions or issues with the bills as presented? I'd like to say that Addie was unable to get to work today. She's one of those people that was caught with a little bit larger snow than what we had, and she was where she lived. That snow didn't go away. It was in the shade pretty much, but so she wasn't able to get here. We'll have to move on without her. Hopefully we won't stumble too much. But she'll be very interested in the approval of the bills. There are no extraneous bills of any kind. These are just normal cost of doing business.
Make a motion to approve the monthly bills as presented.
Have a motion by Commissioner Adams.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gamble. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed likewise, or like sign. Motion carries. Next item is the transfers from the fiscal court. You have those documents. I should say document. That's the monthly jail account, and we transfer $40,000 from general fund to jail fund, and I'll forego the normal speech that I make, but I'll maybe load up twice next week or next month on it rather. It's a necessary evil. We are required to fund the jails. All counties in the state of Kentucky are required to do so. And that's one of the fastest growing and most expensive issues that we deal with on an annual basis. What's the pleasure of the court with regard to the transfers?
Make a motion we allow the transfer from general fund to the jail fund.
Motion by Commissioner Gamble.
Second motion.
Second by Commissioner Daniel. Any opposition? Not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have with us this evening a couple of guys that used to be here on the first or second day of January. We got this moved back, what, last year or the year before or something like that, so now I guess that was Frankfurt improving the expediency, I guess, maybe of us doing this, but whatever it might be. These fellows come in and bring us a list of projects that they're looking at, rural secondary roads and how much money that they are anticipating may be involved with that project, and we try to give them a little bit of a wish list as well. They give us their list and we give them ours, and sometimes we get a little more than we think, and sometimes we get a little less, but, and I'm sure they're that way all the time. But Ken, you were, oh, we got the main guy here about it today. Doug Wright.
Trying to turn this around. Okay, Judge. Thanks for letting us on the agenda for tonight. Also, I want to thank you all and the Fiscal Court for all the working relationships we've had in the past, and I'm sure that we're going to have similar in the future. And, well, what we're here for is to discuss the rural secondary funds. It's state law that it governs the Transportation Department, meet with the Fiscal Court every year to take recommendations on the and acceptance of the rural secondary fund. Now, the funds, gave you a packet earlier that's saying the roads that we are projecting to do in our system, and so you might probably have that in front of you. But these funds, as the rural secondary program, is apportioned through the motor fuel tax, and it's a sum of 22.2% of the current taxes on all motor fuels sold in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, divided up amongst the counties. They usually do that through the amount of roadways that you have and allot it out towards every county. So we're here today to go over the allotment that we have for Johnson County. Now, the highway miles that the rural secondary has on the state highway roadways is 79.039 miles, and the allotment for this year to cover those, or the allotment that we are getting, is $1,229,644, and the breakdown of those is for the regular road maintenance and traffic of the 79 miles it would be $479,700. The county judge expenses with $3,862, and the flex funds comes this year as $149,354,000. Now the roadways that we are planning on putting asphalt on this year, whether it's through resurfacing or bituminous patching, you have those lists in front of you. That totals out to $596,728. And you know, the funds have been drizzling away little by little, you know, as they have in the past. And I mean, it's but we'll take the allotment they give us and try the best we can, provide the best service that we can to the public. So, but you know, any recommendation that you might have beyond what we got, or substitution of what we got, I mean, we are open to whatever we need to do.
Doug, we appreciate you guys and Timmy especially. We work probably closer with these two fellows than anybody else in District 12, and they do a great job. The fact that both of them live here and it kind of don't hurt, I'm sure, but they do a good job, and every time we call, if we got something special going on, whether it's a cleanup, just a roadside cleanup or what, they're always very amenable to trying to help make our community a better place to live, and we appreciate everything they do. And sometimes, like Doug said, we get a little bit more, a little bit less, I guess, based on that motor fuels formula. And there's always a, I can't figure it out, but it seems like I go to a lot of meetings in Frankfurt, and there's always during the legislative session, there's always somebody in there from Louisville or Lexington or Northern Kentucky or somewhere, and they're legislator, and they'll say, Well, why are we spending so much money up there in that rural area? We don't have that many people. Don't have all those cars that we got. So we're glad that the system's working as well as it has. We wish it could be better, but unfortunately, it just, life's not that way. But we do appreciate what you guys try to do, and I'd like to give you this list and have you, this is a little bit more than I noticed. What the calculation's already been made here. But if you guys could pass that on down the road to somebody,
Okay.
I would appreciate it. If they could do a little something to help us in this regard, we'd appreciate it very much.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you, Doug. Tammy, thank you, man. Next item on the agenda is the affiliation agreements between W.R. Castle and Rock House Volunteer Fire Department. Harry, this essentially is the same language that we have.
That we have to do every annually.
It's already been signed by the chief of both of those departments. Talks about their mission statement and the purpose of their establishing this affiliation where we all work together anyway with first responders. We have these kinds of documents that kind of gives us some sort of connection with regard to the kind of work that we do or they do on a regular basis. But even if we didn't have this kind of language, every time in Johnson County, we're so pleased and fortunate, in my opinion, to have first responders that they don't seem to shirk their duties. I don't care. I spoke to some of them the other day that had been in fire and protection, first response activities for 30 years, and they're still there. And they're not getting paid. Doing a wonderful job as volunteers, trying to help their community, trying to make it a better place to live and work and raise a family. And we truly appreciate that for them and try to do as much as we can do to help them whatever we can. And it's getting tougher and tougher, as Tim said, with financial problems that we've got to maintain the same level of income that we'd like to do. Having said that, is there any questions or comments about the orders or any other item you might want?
Move we approve the affiliation agreements.
I have a motion from Commissioner Daniel,
Second.
second by Commissioner Gamble, to adopt this affiliation agreement. Is there any opposed? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed? Any opposed? Motion carries. What is today? Well, that's right. Carrie, who maintains these? All of our guys don't have, this is just affiliations, is this for
This is in reference to rescue,
That's what I thought.
okay?
And,
Of course, we originally had Johnson County Rescue Club, no
Yeah.
longer exists, but, WR and Rock House, do qualify and do the necessary paperwork. With this affiliation agreement, they're required to turn in documents and paperwork, to me every quarter and keep up with their training, those sort of things. And it does actually make them eligible to apply for rescue grant money through Frankfurt, which, like everything else, that's about to dry up too. But
yeah,
I know WR's put in the past 2 years, we didn't get funded, but they did. They did apply, and this affiliation agreement with the county, enables them to apply for grant money.
okay. You voted on it, didn't you? Next item on the agenda is the clerk's fourth quarter financial statement for fiscal year 2017. You have the report from the clerk. Total revenues generated by that office, $6,558,280. That is a lot of money, Sally. You've been a very good steward of taxpayers' money as well.
Thank you.
I know it's harder for you, same as any other office holder, to continue your level of performance, but you do it. You do it very well, and we appreciate that so much. You have a breakdown here. You show all the revenues and recording fees, transactions of all types, and all the expenditures. Is there any reason, Mike, for me to go through the?
The press has a copy?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think so. I mean, it's fairly
Okay,
self-explanatory.
if you guys have any questions at all after the meeting or tomorrow or whenever, feel free to call us and we'll sit down and go through anything any questions you may have. What's the pleasure of the court with regard to approving the?
Make a motion, please. Accept the fourth quarter report.
Ms. Burke,
Second.
and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Next item is an MOU that we have received recently. This was for money from transportation that we applied for actually last fall. And this was for the purposes of repairing 5 roads, and one of them we had to complete it before this had been approved, and once we did, because it was really in bad shape. So we went ahead and paid for those repairs ourselves, hoping we'd get reimbursed, but like I said, things are tough everywhere, I guess. So state said, well, you've already paid for it, so you're good to go, and we'll approve these other 3. So it's an MOU for $131,837 for work on Owl Branch, on resurfacing work from 825 northerly to end the county maintenance. Hanner's Fork, right Fork, County Road 1265 from Middle Fork, Jennings Creek, extending southwesterly to the end of county maintenance. Middle Fork to Jennings Creek, County Road 1222 from mile point 4.452, extending northerly to Kentucky 425. And Calvin Branch Road from Kentucky 580, extending westerly to Davis Branch, Little Paint Creek Road for approximately 9/10 of a mile. So we're glad to, it took a little while to get this approved, but we're pleased that we were able to be successful, and I'm sure the people that live in those areas will be very pleased with the improvement in the roads, because this kind of weather that we're having today and that we've had all winter, where it gets real cold and then it rains, and it gets real cold and freezes, and then it thaws up. All of that type of weather just kind of keeps beating against the surface, I guess, of our roads. And my God, on 23 the other day, I went down to Paul's shop down there, and you can literally lose the front end of your car on the potholes and so forth, isn't that on the best road we got, 4-lane. So I know everybody is glad to get help whenever they can, and we're certainly no different if we applaud the DOT for what they've done for Johnson County. Let's see. Part of the process of hiring a road foreman and getting everything certified is he has to serve, or he has to be certified as is it a road scholar or a,
you have to receive a road foreman certification through the
road foreman certification.
Transportation Cabinet.
And then we have, Mike's looking at a contract. Statutes specifically call for a contract for the road foreman. So we're in the process of doing that. Mike's going to prepare a contract document, and you've already taken your tests and everything and been approved by the engineers at District 12. So we thank you for that, Willard. You're making our job a little easier too. And hopefully we'll be finalizing this thing the next few days. Next item is to approve the resolution for the mitigation project. This is associated with the flash flooding a few years back. Regina's been working on this, I don't know how long, and a long time, I can tell you. And you have a young lady I noticed with you tonight.
Yes.
Would you like to bring her up and introduce her to the group?
I'm Regina McClure from Big Sandy Gap, as you all well know. And this is Monica Spriggs. She's our newest employee, and she'll be doing the same kind of work that I do. She's also doing project administration. Some of you may remember Libby Ratcliffe. Libby retired after 42 years of service, and Monica had been working with us as an intern. She just graduated from EKU with a master's degree. And we were pleased with her intern work, and we decided to hire her on to fill Libby's position. She's going to be doing the administration on the Flat Gap project. That's the mitigation project that the judge was just speaking of. And we're kind of going to work together a little bit. I'm going to let her take the lead on it, but I'm going to be there as well through this first time that she does a mitigation project. And I just wanted to introduce her to you all tonight so that you all could know who she is. And she's from Flat Gap. Yep, so she's a Johnson County girl. So there's two of us running around.
Thank you, Regina, and thank you so much for taking on this position. It's hard sometimes for guys like me and I'm sure a few other people in the room. And whenever you've got a question, a hard question, I generally pick the phone up and call Big Sandy Edge, because somebody up there generally has the knowledge and the information, or at least can tell me where to find it. And it's good a lot of times to be able to do that, rather than having to call Frankfurt and get transferred to 4 different agencies and 4 different cabinets, and you still don't know who you're talking to. So welcome aboard, and I'm sure we're going to be calling you, asking you some of those dumb questions, and you're going to wonder, who is that guy? But we'll do the very best. We'll try not to aggravate you too much, but looking forward to working with you.
Look forward to working with you as well.
Thank you.
And I think you have my items are the next on the agenda, maybe?
Yeah, are you,
You have my resolution for Flat Gap.
I thought I did. I think I do. There's that little sucker. I knew I had
I know I kind of brought a lot of it at one time at you. We've got 2 separate things.
Yeah, how many houses did we first start talking about?
Oh, gee, there was probably, in the very beginning, probably close to 30 people that were interested, and it kept dwindling down and dwindling down. And then right about application time, we were down to about 5. And then from the draft to actually turning it in, we were down to 3. And we submitted 3, and we're awarded for the 3 properties, but one of those has since backed out. So we're down to 2 properties. So.
Well, I know it's been a long process, and I know you spent a lot of time and effort, Virginia, and I do appreciate your contribution.
Well, you spent a lot of time with me, so.
It's all part of it.
Yeah.
Right? You know.
Yeah, so what we have today is I have a resolution for us to apply for another pot of money that's state dollars. It's called the Flood Control Local Matching Fund Program. Now, there's no acronym for that, so and it's a mouthful, but Flood Control Local Matching Fund Program. And that will cover the match if we're awarded this, and there will be no money out on the Flat Gap project. Right now we're looking at 13%, which the largest portion of that was being covered by the homeowners and a small portion by the county. But if we get this grant award, then we'll be able to cover the entire match of the project with these state dollars matching the federal dollars. And so I have a resolution there in support of that, to allow me to do the application and the judge to sign it. Do y'all have any questions about the either the funding or the...
What's that again?
It's called the Flood Control Local Matching Fund Program. I think they could have come up with a little better name, but...
I was having a hard time writing all that down.
Yeah, Flood Control Local Matching Fund Program. I mean, it doesn't even have an acronym that you can use, so... But, yeah, so we'd be requesting $18,989, and that covers the match for the project.
989 or 919?
Well, it could, actually, it really, it doesn't matter. That's so close, it doesn't matter. We actually added $500 more in there into the budget because, and that's why I have a different number than you, because the number I gave the judge didn't reflect that. But it's really close, so it won't matter. But we're going to do 2 appraisals on the properties. We were only going to do 1 to start with, but we ended up determining it'd be best to do 2. So that changed it a few dollars since I gave him the resolution.
So the first thing we need to do is approve the resolution?
Approve the resolution, and then that when they do, the court does that, then I'll be able to let you sign the application and we'll submit it. And then I've been getting a pretty quick return on these, so I figure we should know maybe by the next time that y'all meet. I should be able to tell you.
Okay. I think a motion's in order. Have a motion by Kathy.
Second.
Second by Paul. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Motion carries. You need to, somebody needs to attest that.
Okay. I think the next thing on there is also flat gap, okay?
Yeah. Contract agreement.
That is that's a contract for our services, and like the judge had pointed out, not only for the administration of this, but, you know, we spent many, many hours in the application process between public meetings and meetings with homeowners, and if we get this grant, that'll all be covered with the flood control matching program grant that we just applied for, you just approved to apply for, that'll cover this as well. If not, if for some reason it doesn't, you're only out the 13% of this, which is $546 in the event that we don't get the grant to cover it. You'd be out $546 of the $4,200 for our services. And there's a lot to these grants, and to the administration of them in particular. We'll be buying properties, and we'll be working with the
When are
county
you going to
attorney.
need this, Mike? I'd like to ask Mike to take a look at it. I'm sure it's on the boilerplate language.
It is.
How much time are you going to give him to?
What's up to you, Judge?
Well, no, I just want to make sure he don't feel like
Okay.
beat on him. So.
Oh, he says it looks okay.
About this one?
Oh, that's the,
It's our standard.
It's the
contract
standard
agreement.
boilerplate on
yeah, that's,
11, I've already looked
Oh,
at
you've
it.
already looked at it? Okay.
oh,
I've
well,
already read
see,
it while you were doing this.
see how quick he is?
You were reading the other stuff, Judge. It's a standard contract.
Yeah.
It's fine.
He's just quick. So you need us to
Yes.
have a motion to authorize me to sign this and
Yes.
have a little net out there that says I have authority then to sign any and all contracts or documents associated with this project. Good, everyone.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
That way, if you have to have another signature, we don't have to call a special meeting.
Right.
I'll make that motion.
Have Commissioner Adams has a motion
Second.
and a second by Commissioner Gamble. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Regina. Okay. I have another report I'd like to make. We all know and have seen the same horrific kind of activities that go on in this nation on a daily basis. And I guess the copycat syndrome kicks in or something. I have no idea of how people can be so screwed up in the head. But they just feel like they need to run down to the local school and shoot a few kids. And I know I'm old fashioned, I know I've been around a long time. But back in the day, you know, you got mad at somebody and you kind of talk mean to him or maybe invited him out behind the barn or something, but very little ever happened. But now, my God, it's just something that I don't think there's an answer. And they'll study it for years and years and years trying to figure out what it is, but it just must be the times we're living in or something, I don't know. But safe schools anymore, we've always considered safe schools, so they're not safe anymore. And it just absolutely is awful to see the death and the carnage and the injuries that can be foisted upon a school system and innocent kids by these people that are unstable, obviously, or just man at the world. I don't know what it is, but it has made school systems all over the country aware that they're going to do something. They're going to try to do something. I don't think anybody knows an easy answer to it. And that's one reason I think it's going to be hard to settle on a single type policy. I know, some people think, well, you give the teachers guns. And that may deter some people. And I know I've seen arguments, I've seen school principals and teachers and everybody else arguing publicly, yeah, we can do that. Yes, sir, give me a gun, I'm ready to go. And we got people saying, well, I don't know, that might create even a bigger problem. If you got somebody that has a weapon that has not been trained specifically or whatever. And then we had that issue of those 3 or 4 deputy sheriffs out there in, or was it California or somewhere, I think, that didn't respond when they had a shooting reported. This has just been one of the worst things that I've ever seen that sees no boundaries. It just happens to be something different every day, seems like. And then today, I don't know if they're starting something new, but today somebody started blowing up half of Texas. They 3 different explosions, I think. 1 or 2 people killed. They have no idea who's involved. But somebody's building bombs and sending them through the mail. And putting them on the porches. Nobody's being delivered in the post office. And I guess if you pick it up and start tinkering with it, it'll go off. But I don't know what's wrong with our country. I think we lost our moral compass a long time ago. And I've got my own personal feelings about where a lot of it started. But when they called me from the school system and said that we'd like you to come to a meeting, we had the superintendents from Central Schools and Paintsville Independent, had the police chief from Paintsville, you had the sheriff from the county, had how many, about 8 or 9 others, wasn't there? School superintendents,
Emergency management.
yeah, and even some board members. And they wanted to talk about, is there anything we can do? We all know money's tight. We know it's hard for us to go out and buy the services of a full-time employee. The schools were saying, we just don't have the money either. Well, you guys sit here and listen and know that we don't have extra money for any more so than anybody else. It's a very difficult time to be doing anything, but you're looking at the worry about, well, what if it happens here? You know, what did we do enough, or did we try to do everything we could do? So I don't know that whatever's going to happen is going to be the answer. I hope it's certainly a deterrent, and that we don't ever go through that here in Johnson County. But we don't know. But in the meantime, I've been on the phone with Frankfurt for 2 or 3 different times, and I'm going down and the commissioners are going down to a training session. When is that? But I mean, that's Thursday morning, right? They got and it's a training session that they're going to have hundreds of people in the local government. So I'm sure that there'll be a lot of city employees at something like that. And it's, I think, a nationally recognized program that we'll get a chance, I'm sure, to hear some additional ideas and information But having said that, I've been talking and trying to find out, is there any kind of money down there anywhere that we can look at and maybe see if we could shift it around a little bit? And when people start telling you, well, you can't do that, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that, and you come back and say, well, what do you want to do? If we don't do that, you know, what's the possibility of something horrible happening? So then they kind of back up and say, well, let me make a phone call. So long story short, I've got a meeting when I get down there this week with a department head that thinks that there might be something, he's not sure, and you got to jump through some hoops to do it. In the meantime, I'm sure that the group here locally is talking to each other every day, I guess, aren't they, Darren, about what's the best way for them to proceed. And we certainly have everybody that's interested and everybody that wants to do something. And so we're trying to do as much as we can do to try to help find some money to put a person on the payroll. There may be a lot of other options, I don't know. You know, you might be able to, we got city policemen going out on shift, 3 shifts a day, and we got sheriff's deputies doing the same thing. And, you know, maybe the first 10, 15 minutes of their shift, they could stop at school, go in, have somebody do the same thing. In the afternoon, somebody, when school's out. I have no idea. I'm just sitting around grasping at straws like everybody else. But I just wanted you to know that there's an awful lot of people very concerned and hoping that they can do something to at least, as I said, I don't think anything's going to be a fix-all. I think it's just a horrible thing that people are struggling with, because it's just hard to believe that there's people that would do that. My God, how do you shoot little children? You know, and other kids and teachers trying to protect them by standing over them or lying on top of them. Somebody's out there with an AK-47 dropping about 100 rounds a minute or something. But we're trying, we're doing the best we can do, and we're just kind of in the county government, we're kind of in the periphery. We don't have any expertise in school systems or what their resource officers do, or, you know, which is the best way to go. But we do support trying to do something. So with the permission of you guys, I'll continue to pursue my discussions, and if we are successful, that'll be good news, and I'll report back to you. I would like to, could I get a motion and give me, if I can find something here that we could just apply for? Certainly. Yeah, you guys give me the authority that if in this contact I'm making down there, if it says, yeah, you can apply, we may move on, we may get some money. Then if you would authorize me by resolution to sign any and all documents associated with applying for that grant.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, got a motion from Aaron and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, likewise? Motion carries. That is all I have.
Gary's activity report, sir.
Yeah, Gary, your activity report.
Judge, you all have had a chance to look at that, and you just got through talking about schools. The month of February, I think I was at 9 schools in the county and 1 here in the city limits. And the school safety thing naturally has been brought to the forefront in the past few weeks, couple months. And I guess when schools here and all the first responders, you know, kind of woke up just a little bit, was the incident in Marshall County. So that's getting close home. So since then, we've had a lot of meetings. We've done lockdown drills at most of the schools. Actually, I think we've already got all the county schools completed. At those drills, I've attended Sheriff's Department, City Police, Fire Department within that particular code that covers that particular school, EMS. As far as myself and the first responders, we've committed to us having a better plan, and we've committed to making more time to go out with the schools. And you know, in our meeting the other day, you know, they were discussing a law enforcement presence a little more, and that's being done somewhat. And so, you know, without costing all of us a bunch of money, we're just trying to focus on those things. And we all know, when you mentioned, you can't have a plan for everything because somebody's going to come up with something different, you know. But, you know, we need to stick with the basic concepts of school safety. And you know, we discussed at our meeting, you know, a few years back, basically with law enforcement, you know, it was hide in the room, turn the lights out, you know, and sit still. That part of the training's kind of went away. Now we talk about run. If you can't run, hide. If you can't hide, then fight. And I know some of the schools that went through that training, and I was involved in one of them. So, and basically I think the bottom line is, with this new concept, it gives the teachers a chance to think outside the box. You know, maybe I don't just need to go in the room and hide. Maybe we've got the opportunity to run, you know, to get away from the threat. So, but I just wanted to say those few things. But we're really focused now, and of course we've had contact and worked with the schools forever. But under all the circumstances, it's time to step it up. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Is there anything else anybody would like to bring before the court at this time for the good of the county? Not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Motion and a second.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Adjourn.